Hello, I'm Joby Carter from Carter Steam Fair, and today we're going to be talking about juveniles. I'm not talking about small children. Juveniles is a reference to a child's ride. Did any of you watch the Facebook Live yesterday? We had great fun yesterday. We did we had Bippo and Richard Cadell doing Carter's Got Talent, the first time we've ever done it. Completely random, off the wall, but absolutely great fun. Just had people coming and doing daft things on stage for free ride tickets. Simple concept, really good fun. So try and check out some of those videos. And Matt let off the fireworks last night with his big red button and did a big countdown. I haven't even seen that myself yet. We were very busy last night. Apologies to anyone that was subject to queues for token booths. Unfortunately, people do keep taking my tokens home, and that means that they go down and then I order more. Now I've ordered more, but they haven't turned up yet. So I've barely got enough to keep the machines topped up. And when they go out, so I keep having to go to the rides, empty them, count them, put them back in the machines again. So that was a bit, if you saw me running around last night like a headless chicken, that was why. And if the queue was long, we've got 3 windows to serve in, but I didn't actually have enough tokens to fill up the machine to open that window. My bad. Sorry about that, folks. So anyway, today we're going to talk about juveniles. Well, in the beginning, there was roundabouts like this. This is called a set of Jobies. This was made by Housted circa 1910. They're not the original animals, regrettably, they're replicas. And the chariots were made recently, copied from, or inspired from original ones. And very simple. Now, this should have a round wheel there. Unfortunately, it got cracked, so the flywheel's broken. It's one of those jobs on the back burner that will get done. What's that noise? Very strange. Someone left the fridge door open. Very simply, 2 cogs, one against one another here, 90 degrees. I'm making a 90 degree symbol off camera. Now you just give it a gentle pull, like so.
Let me get out of the way.
And off we go. Obviously, this is the attraction that all the staff want to work on. Nice hand-turned juvenile. Give the bell a ring. It'd be nice if it had top centres on it. We haven't got any on there. It's a bit grubby. Don't look up there, needs cleaning.
I'll edit that out.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, it's live.
It's live.
And that's it. Very, very simple. It doesn't take a great deal of money on the fair because, as I'm going to show you the other juveniles, they appear to be more exciting. And I think often parents, maybe they don't think it looks as safe because they haven't got a platform underneath it. But you know, kids do like it. It takes money. I don't build it up every week. It's a lovely little thing. We actually restored this one as it was a bit of a sideline back in the 80s, I think, or very early 90s. Just did it up to sell it, and it got put into Sotheby's, which was totally the wrong auction for it, and it didn't sell. And they knocked the hammer down on a low reserve, and that was it. And they kind of effectively undervalued it. So we thought, oh, we might as well use it then, and we've been using it ever since. So that's a good thing, right? Now, some bright spark. Now, I mean, really, we believe our Galloper was actually a set of Jobies, but a big set of Jobies, so it didn't have cranks. It was just hanging horses, because obviously they were cheaper to manufacture and cheaper to buy for the showman, and then they got converted into a Galloper. We believe. We don't have any photographic evidence of that. And they made bigger versions of these. They made 3 abreast, and they would have had carved animals. We believe this had, well, I know for a fact it had 2 lions on it, which was would have been rather lovely, visually very rare. Now, some bright spark, some showmen along the way thought, you know what I could do? I could build a set of platforms, and then I could put pedal cars on it. But obviously, so they don't pedal. Can you hear that beeping? It's not just me, right? It's driving me mad. Investigative. I feel like it. Yeah. Wow, wow. What's that beeping noise? It's really annoying.
Maybe the fridge is open in the token booth.
It's definitely coming from here. No, the fridge isn't open. Okay, now we will wait for the beep. What is that? The card machine.
Cool. Missed 27 days left. Update now.
Shut the door, we won't be able to hear it.
It's an unimportant beat.
Not my department. Did you know we take cards at the fair? There you go. The beeping's telling you that. That's why it's doing it. Also, what I'd like you all to do today, or whenever you watch our live, do us a favour, share it. If you've got lots of friends, then they might watch it and they might share it, and then the whole world can see what Carter Steam Fair is about. Because we do these lives, we take the time to do them, to spread the love, to keep you interested, and to generate interest so people come to the fair and enjoy the attractions for themselves, not just to look at them. Now, here you go. Here's another housted, and this one I'm going to go on the inside gently. This one's got the original flywheel, and actually see, I can barely pick it. It says housted there, maker. I should know where they were made. S-O, is that a U-E-R-B-Y? So that'll be, someone's going to tell me on there. I can't read that. Someone tell me what it says. Someone will know on the World Wide Web. Do we still call it that?
The www?
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess.
Well, I'm going to, because I'm a traditionalist. There you go. So, this originally, now, this is my investigative journalism. This, I believe, had an extension. If you look at that, it's very slightly thicker. Now, this would have been smaller, same size as that, and they wanted a bigger juvenile, so somewhere in its history, that was extended. Longer rods made, possibly an extra one added, though it could have been originally, because the Joby's only got one. Now, I think my dad bought it just to the frame, and he built it. It'd been a toilet or restored it. Now, my dad, we've got another one as well, just got it tested in the yard. We call that one the Cars and Bikes. This is a toy town. But fundamentally, it would have probably started life as a set of Jobies, and someone thought, oh, hey ho, I can convert this and make more money. And they do take more money, they're more popular. And the other one I've got is smaller, it's the original size, beautiful, got a lovely high pitch to it, and that's mostly got pre-war cars on it. Most of these are post-war, but they're genuine pedal cars that kids would have been, you know, driving around the streets, and very simply, showman bought them new, put brackets on them so they were bolted down, and then kids sit there turning the wheels. Actually, we've cheated on these. These actually, when you turn the wheel, they don't turn these, because literally it drives you mad. Bang, 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 and it just wears out all the motion. Most of these got touched up and painted in the winter, but there's some we run out of time we didn't get to, and the train had to have quite a lot of extensive work on them because they're wood, but they're just beautiful and very, you know, very, very collectible. Couple of horses, yeah, that's lovely. Generally speaking, there, so my dad put an advert in the World's Fair, which is a trade paper for pedal cars wanted, and he'd get showmen ring him up where they'd taken them off, put them in the top of the shed, and they put a fiberglass one on, or they just got rid of the Juvenile altogether. So he got many phone calls, and then he'd go off in his pickup, which was his old beloved P100 Cortina pickup. He was the only one who loved it. Sorry, Dad, speak ill of your P100s. P100s, he would buy one. He would buy a P100, put it in the shed, and until the other one died, and then he would use that one. Yeah.
That's a whole nother video.
That's a whole nother video. John Carter's P100s. Yeah. And he'd come back with them stacked up so high. It looked like one of those crazy videos from India where they put too much on their tut-tut and it sort of goes backwards.
Pedal cars or P100s?
No, it was what? Hold on, P100s on your tut-tuts. No, we're going off topic here. Pedal cars, and they come back and they were mostly knackered and all wheels missing, they're all dented and rusty, and I think he got about 80 in the end, and he got to the point where he thought, well, I've got enough here to make 2 juveniles, and that's why I did 2. But there's no little point in having 2 of the same on the fair, so I keep the other one for little private jobs and whatnot. So did them all up and picked the colours, and by and large they're all the same colours they were. I just changed the blue one, it was black, it was a bit ominous, but that's missing its bumpers. That's another thing we've got to do this winter. It's missing its trim, as is. No, that one's good. Look at this one, look, and this one's got a triangle on the front, look. But I would imagine it used to have a bit of trim that went there that's gone missing. And even, where's it gone? Oh, the police cars is, yeah, we haven't got the bells on it, but This one's got a couple of bells on the front, but they were done last minute. They got that damage that we had to do them, but we didn't get a chance to finish them. But this one's lovely as well. I love this bike. That's an original old horse, and look at it. It looks like it was painted. It's due for a touch up, but that was actually painted by me in my early days of painting. And that one isn't as old, but is a genuine carved horse. But it's not it's wood, it's not fiberglass to look, but it's not as old as it looks. And there's my niece Ashley. So yeah, here we go. Here's the Toy Town, and it's got the same wording that my dad put on the back. We still got, and these are lovely. These are painted by my mum. There you go, back in '94, and they're the names of the lorries, although that's changed names now. That's the King now. And it's quite interesting. If I spin it, you can get a good shot of that angle. Do you want it in the sun? There you go. Look, that was when we had a showman's engine. And that's since become something else. Number 10. That's one of the ones that got away. We sold that one. Now number 10 is my lorry. But these ones. So number 1, that's a Scamel. That's in the yard, due for restoration. Number 2, which was our first Scamel. Another story. You should have to watch the old ones. Due for restoration. Number 3, regrettably, that was sold. It was sold to my brother, and he then sold it. Old ugly. But it's still about. Lovely lorry, but it had got a bit tired. And there you go. It had the jib on the front there, and little brackets here for the crane to build the yachts up. It had the springs uprated at the front to allow for the crane on the front. And that made it really solid on the road, like you got thrown around the cab. So, and it had no gate on it. But anyway, number 3 became the Foden. I've told you this before, you should be listening. But now we've since bought the show track, and now that's number 3, so we got 2 number 3s. Very strange. Number 4, we still got, this might be trivia, but so this body started off life on number 4 and had a roller on the back to push the crane up. That body then went on to number 3.
Which had the crane on it.
And the roller's got to put on the back of the Foden, and then that body now is on number 5. So that body's been on 3 Scamels, because that's the great thing about the Scamels, the same. And so this was number 5, how it looked at the time in '94. We took that body off, and that's just come back from the carpenters, Peter Fleet. Peter Fleet, we're talking about that, weren't we, Matt? And
I'm not going to see you, Pete.
No, and now that's in the paint shop, and it won't get done before the end of the season, but it's going to get done, and it'll be hopefully back out on the road next year. A beautiful Scamel, that. Number 6 is over there. You can hear it. Turn around, Matt. Look over there. Look at it. Look, it's there. See, look there. Through the dodgem. See? There. With a generator on. Same body. Been slightly raised. Cab's knackered. It's got to be done this winter. Just so you know. It's a bit hidden.
So, just touching on the winter, we can probably follow some of that on the live videos that we're
Definitely. We'll try and do roughly one a week, and you'll see all the action in the winter. Number 7, beautiful. Used to have a stall inside, ended up with a candy floss inside. It's sitting in the yard, minding its own business. Needs a paint job, and the engine, could do with a bit of a birthday. That's my mum's. And we're back to the beginning. Number 8, that makes sense. Number 8's out the back. It's had its body, I suppose I could use the word mutilated, because the generator I needed to put on it wouldn't fit, so I just chopped the body off. So sorry, that looks a bit ugly, but that's a proper working tool, that is. I had a terrible problem with that lorry. I took it on about 3 years ago, and I had a wheel wobble that would throw you around the cab. It would just get a wobble on the wheel, and there's something terribly wrong with it. We took it to bits, we couldn't work it out. Put new wheels on it, had them balanced, problem went away. It was just one of the stupid things. What are we talking about lorries for? We're talking about juveniles.
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid. So, off topic. So, that's a roundabout, hand turned. I have actually got motors, but we bought a fan belt with the wrong size, so I'm just making them do it by hand. Another popular one to work on, that one, when you have to turn it by hand. We go back to the Austins. We got the Austins next, and after that we got the train ride. Now this is our train ride. Now, good thing about this ride is you can put adults in it as well. Now that does help a ride take money, because people want to sit with their child, and sometimes if a child's too small they don't want to let them by themselves, or so that makes this for being a very good ride. Still build up, quite a lot of work to build up, because often you see a train ride and they go and they fold out, and who can blame people for making it easier? But this is still just literally lift it off a truck and do it. But I do, originally these carriages would have actually come to pieces, so there would have been a flat deck, you put the flat deck down and then you built the sides up, would have packed in a smaller space, but a lot more work to build up. So these are actually, they're complete, and we just cover them up, and I actually lift it on with a crane. I want to make a new train for this, a new truck for this. I want to put it in a box truck. I had a fence round the back, and we have added an extra strut every other. So originally there were eight of these coming out, and we've got 16, because then you've got a post on every one, because they used to go together and pin together, and they were a pain in the bum. And recently I've added the fence on the front, which I did per personal choice, but I think they did actually, the health and safety do actually prefer them with a fence round, in case someone runs in when the train's round the back. So actually it's a lot nicer to run with a fence on this one. You just let people in, let them off. The pillars and the lights are kind of temporary, just to get a bit of light on it. I've kind of, it's a long way down the pile of things that need modifying. We did made 3 new carriages, because they came to the end of the road, and they've all got painted up last winter, all the gold leaf, re-lettered, and it's just a good tool, really. This is my brother's Autodrome. I believe that was late 40s. Similar to the Austin car, but you can get adults in this one, and you got the heels going up and down. This one has been trailer mounted. Originally it had, I think it was Lang wheels. They're beautiful cars, absolutely lovely. And as you see, the LW is Lang wheels on the back there, original stamped plate, and these wings at the front, which are lovely. And it's a good tool, and there again it's great because adults can ride it. Originally it had metal gates, were really quite simple actually, with lines running through in circles. But that's been on a fair 2 or 3 years now. Had a new tilt recently, which is lovely. He's used region text, not like me with my new Fandangle materials that I've been trying. Yeah, lovely. Right, now the Austin cars. Cover the token booth up. We're going to, you can send drawings of how you think the token booth should look like.
Take a screenshot.
Take a screen, yeah.
There's a token
there you
booth.
go. How should it look?
Quickly, screenshot it.
Nice.
Draw a picture on it.
Well, we might put some like information about the fair on the left and that, because it's a big funny old shape, but that'll look marvellous next year. So, going back towards the Dobys and the Austin car ride. So, Hayes fabrication, which was the same as our big Octopus, as the skid, and I dare say the Hoopla could be, but I don't know. More information required. So pedal cars were built by Austin Cars, and they started a scheme, if you will, or started manufacturing, and they were employing disabled Welsh miners. Now when I say disabled, they were disabled from like lung disease and stuff, and they wanted to keep them employed, and they had them making these pedal cars for very wealthy people. They were very expensive, but Hayes Fabrication, whether they had the idea or Showman came to them and had the idea, making one, take the pedals out, put a floor in, heavier axle, a motor in 2 of them. So these two have got motors, this one and this one. So basically the electric comes through here, positive and negative. You've got pickups on there, positive and negative, and then plugs into this one. So these 2 drive. Now originally, we found this out the hard way, originally the 2 red cars were opposite, and they both had pickup points. I've made it about a foot bigger, but if someone put their foot on the track, I'll illustrate. So this wasn't here. Someone put their foot on the track and they run their foot over, and that came out, the other one would still be in, and that would keep driving. So that's not so good. So now you've got the one pickup that feeds that motor, and also you're not wearing the track out as much, because that's a consumable, a really pain in the bum consumable that you have to replace the track, the brass strip, which is expensive and awkward to do. So the other cars are just trailing, they're pulling them all around, and it's just an absolutely beautiful thing. And the wonderful thing about this is, for a kid to get in that, they don't know the steering wheel isn't actually taking them where they're going, and they actually feel like they're driving a car. And I think it can be such a strong memory for a kid, you know. I mean, I had someone yesterday with her granddaughter, and then her daughter walked up and she said, I've been coming to this fair since my daughter was her age, and there she is with her daughter and her granddaughter here enjoying the fair. And we get that all the time. Such an exciting thing to be driving your own car. Now, I've been travelling in Austin quite a lot. The train's been rebranded with my youngest son's name, and this is my daughter's, Elizabeth Carter. Bearing in mind that my son John is named after his granddad, and he's kind of got his name everywhere. I thought it's only fair the other kids get their name on stuff, and they're both very keen on the business. So the pay box my dad designed, and the lettering was the same one we used on the Dodge, very Art Deco. It did have a longer roof, and I always used to call it the 77th Dodge plate. This great big roof that was made out of metal, and then these bits slotted in the end. But when I changed it and put the roof on, I just made a lighter roof, I'm not going to lie. And there's 2 petrol pumps either end, mock petrol pumps. They're actually in the paint shop. They're supposed to be one of those, because we don't need them, they keep putting them to the back of the pile, but actually they're being worked on at the minute, so it'd be nice to get those back on there, the petrol pumps, because they finish it off. But I added the roof because when it didn't have a roof and it used to rain, you used to have to take some cars off because they would spin, and it was just a pain. And actually, by adding the roof and the rounding boards, which are inspired from Lakin's Dodgem, it probably bumped the takings up by 20%. It just it gives it more presence. It's the lights, we haven't put the lights back on from we took them off in the winter, and we've got to put the strips back on there. But yeah, it's just a great tool. I love it. It's probably my favourite Juvenile, truth be known. Now, oh, look folks, look where we are next week. And have we all shared this video yet, or do they do it after?
They can do it now.
Can you do it now?
Let's put this
Share
up.
the video.
Ooh, there you go.
Look at that, Hollypot Green. So where have we got left? We've got Hollypot Green next weekend, 11 till 10, 11 till 7. Not really long hours. Firework display, fabulous. Who's letting off next week, Matt? You're going to do your magic again?
I don't know. Are we going to do a comp this week?
We might do a competition,
There's
mightn't
a
we?
road in the way.
There is a road in the way, which can be a problem. Maybe we'll do it at Reading.
We'll do it for Reading.
Yeah.
There will be a comp online there.
Yeah, we'll do something. So someone can let the fireworks off. That's exciting, isn't it? But yeah, Hollypot, and then we go to Reading, which we went to at Easter. We go back there. We normally finish there. Then we have a couple of weeks off for half term, and then we go to Boyne Hill Cricket Club for the fireworks spectacular. You have to say spectacular. I'm under license to say that there, because it is spectacular. And then that's our last one. And then, well, I mean, the minute we don't take the full fair to Boyne Hill, because once we finish at Reading, we start working on the stuff, and then we just take the fair out to Boyne Hill, and then we really work on it fully. You know, we're going hell for leather, counting down the days till Easter, getting it ready for next year. Now I'm going to show you my last Juvenile here. This is not, we're not talking about the swing boats today. I mean, the little swing boats, you could call those Juvenile. We're talking about rides that go round and round, that kind of Juvenile today. So this is due for some work, I might add, in terms of the artwork. Needs a good old touch up, so don't focus on that, and the cars do as well. But I don't quite know what happened here. Something really important must have happened that
they've had to stop.
That they had to stop. Half sheet. It's like lunch. I mean, it would have taken them all of, I don't know.
Well,
should we time it? Should we time it? Go on.
2, 3, 4.
This one is quite tricky. I see why they went for lunch. Done it. Yes.
11 seconds.
They couldn't do that. They really were hungry, or they needed that cup of tea. But I've done it now, so I think I almost feel like I've saved the day. So, this is.
You tell them you do it.
I know, don't worry, it's coming out their bonus. So that's meant to be over there as well. That would have taken another at least 4 seconds. So it's a Coulson, this juvenile, very heavy centre. That's a pig to get out. That's a whole other story. So that's original. The cross, I'm sure I've made original, and all this blue frame I've made because originally they would just have had a sort of vague resemblance to a fence around them, or even sort of a thing you could stand on. And these are intended for the kids to get in this way. And the cars didn't look like this. The cars really looked, I'm not sure they weren't Meccano actually. They weren't actually pleasing on the eye. So I copied the Hayes Fabrication ones and made them look like a bigger Octopus. And you've got this nice little safety rail. They climb it, so we load them up here rather than parents attacking it from all angles. And then when you're running, you've got a nice fence around it, and then you're not worried. It won't take what the Austin takes, but it's just a nice ride because it's more of a thrill. As kids are getting a little bit older, they might want a little bit more than that. So obviously when they're too big, they go on other rides, but it's nice because when they go round, they spin. And
it does get a bit of motion as well, this thing.
A bit of motion, it does, yeah. You have to be careful. You have to stop the parents spinning it, because if they overzealous parents grab it and spin it, and their kid's head bashes a metal bar, kids don't enjoy it so much. Like I remember these handrails, because you have to make things to regulation, and you know, you're not the kids aren't meant to get their head to, so that's the regulation size there, which closes that up. They're all chamfered off. But Aaron, who I taught to sign write and decorate, this was one of his jobs, doing these black lines. That is so much work. They're inspired from the you know, the bigger ones, this same design, and this is all blended, and this is blended, and there's so much work in them, and they need repairing. There's one of the bottom rails has gone a bit waft, and so it's on the list this winter. I'll touch it all up, give it a birthday, and so it's got this front on here as well, and this on, which it's really to keep the attendant out of the weather, which the train ride they don't get so spoiled. Now, really, we're all about, it sounds a bit cheesy, don't say we're all about the kids. Ooh, hi, pop pickers. But we are all about children. We're a family fun fair, but children of all ages. You know, come and be a kid here. Come and enjoy yourself. Truthfully speaking, the Gallopers is a big juvenile. The Ark is a big juvenile. People remember Arks, how they ended up when on the fairs in the 70s and 80s, when they become a thrill ride, and they sent them out flat out, and they used to let people stand up, and people used to fall off, and it was different days. But actually go back to its roots, and it was a much more sedate ride, and that's what we've done. We ride it. We know we will go a bit faster on a Saturday night if there's small kids have all gone to bed, but generally speaking, it's a kids ride. And even our airplane's a very small ride. Mostly ridden by children. Adults can ride it, but these are lovely. I love juveniles. There's not so much stress involved in running kids ride. Nice, slow RPM, and you know, they're very popular and beautiful. Look at those cars, aren't they lovely? So there we go. Do share this video. Do come and see us today. Don't care where you are. Don't care if you're abroad. Get over here. Come to Hollyport next week, and come to Reading, and come to Boyne Hill. Book on my painting course. Buy some books, and have a lovely Christmas. Thank you.
Christmas?
Oh, no. Well,
it's Halloween first.
I don't celebrate that. That's American nonsense. Not interested. Bonfire night, we like to celebrate burning a man or whatever it's all about. That seems acceptable. But ghouls and ghosts, no, not for me. I get scared. Anyway.
Questions.
We
might have questions.
Oh, have we got any questions?
I haven't got them up, so I'll answer them in the comments. So if you just let everyone know.
He won't. He's saying he will.
I'll answer the
won't.
questions in the comments. I'll have a look after.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do that.
One thing, the Octopus isn't here. The dive bomb is not here. It's still for sale. Just so you know, I'm wearing Crocs. Sorry. And what else?
Croc on your foot.
What other things they normally want to know?
Where are we?
Oh, of course, we're at Englefield Green. Look, you can hear, right near Heathrow. plane up there. Yeah. A noisy biplane, isn't it? That's it. Are we done now? I'm going to
We're done.
go and have a cup of tea, and I'll see you folks later. Bye.